Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here, coming back with part 17 of What If Deku Had Venom. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has gone to work, with the overhaul. He and his gang of yakuza, as in the end he was going against Lemillion in a fight between them. After the heroes start getting into the place, Izuku fighted against Lemillion, and just like the normal anime, Lemillion loses his quirk, as in the end Izuku managed to throw an explosion at his chest and throwing him away, as he getting hold of Eri and told her sorry about what he will gonna do. As if you're wondering what did he did to Eri, go watch the last part because it was such an it was such a dark idea of me for what I did there. But no matter, let's continue. As after that, a fight between them, Izuku gone and fighted against Overhaul and Tanjiro. Tanjiro going at Izuku while Overhaul just getting, this chance to kill Izuku and take Eri. As after that, Sukuna, the cursed hero, come into the scene and start fighting against Izuku, as Tanjiro taking Lemillion out of there, as Izuku has rewinded Overhaul into the point that he is dead, never existed in the first place. In the end, Izuku managed to run away. Sukuna just come back with the others with a little jar of dust. As we continue, but not with Izuku and everyone. We continue with Tanjiro and All Might and the other heroes. As Tanjiro said, yes, All Might, he was there. He was working with Overhaul, but he killed him. As Night Eye said, killed him. Why would he kill his own ally? As Tanjiro said, I don't really know, but maybe Lemillion can tell us more when he wake up. As Bubble Girl said, well, he's in a bad condition. Most of his bones are broken and he's so burned and he have some stabs in his body. Whatever Venom did to him, it was so brutal. As Tanjiro getting a little bit furious about hearing this name, remembering all what Izuku did to him. As All Might said, are you okay, Tanjiro? Can you tell me more about what's happened there? As Tanjiro said, well, what I remember that he, was fighting against Overhaul and against me. Maybe Overhaul was just using this chance to, kill Venom while I was trying, to defeat him. In the end, for some reason, there was like a horn on his left side of his head, glowing with a dark energy, as he, pointing with his hand on Overhaul, making him turn into nothing. The only thing that left of him is his clothes. As Night Eye said, what? Wait, this is Eric work. That's impossible. As All Might said, what? You mean he got Eric work? How is that even possible? As Night Eye said, I don't know. The only person that I know having, the ability to take quirks is, as All Might said, All for One. I will gonna have to talk with him about this, but can you tell me more what's happened there, Tanjiro? As Tanjiro said, well, that's all what I remember. But as Sukuna stopping him and said, shut up already and let me explain my part, kid. As Tanjiro said, alright, Mr. Sukuna. As Sukuna said, well, that kid you name is Venom, he's actually quite the challenge that you told me about, so I will gonna stay here for much longer. He had lots of quirks, not only the the little girl quirk. He had explosions, blades, tentacles, earth manipulation, earth creation, and also, I think, fire. And, quite that black whip. As All Might said, black whip. That was, as he said in his mind, that was one of the previous users of One for All quirks. How did he get it? And most importantly, how does he have even Bakugo's quirk? He killed him, and he got his quirk. And he right now using it for villainous. I need to stop him no matter the cost. As Sukuna said, and I managed to get this. As he's showing them the little jar that filled with dust. As Night Eye said, and what is this? As Sukuna said, this is the little girl that you talked about. As All Might said, what? What do you mean this is the girl? As Sukuna said, well, that Venom guy told me that he turned the girl into dust, and he is the only one that he, can't rebuild her body with the side of overhaul. Both of them have the same quirks, so I think they both can rebuild her. When you told me that overhaul is dead, so we only have to capture that girl and rebuild this girl body back. Is that right? As Night Eye said, are you serious? He destroyed the girl? As Sukuna said, yeah, this is what left out of her. Which is actually a fake one Izuku prepared for the plan, the plan of escaping. As All Might said, how much he could be even more brutal! God damn it, Midoriya! As All Might getting angry. And, Principal Nezu said, calm down, All Might. We don't have to be furious. We have to prepare a plan. Well, looks like this will gonna stop our plan of destroying Izuku quirks forever. As All Might said, now we need him alive to rebuild the girl. God damn it. As, Principal Nezu said, well, we can continue on the first plan and destroy all of his quirks if you want. Or you can, capture him and, made him rebuild Eri. And after that we deleted all of his quirks. How about that? As All Might said, let's go with the second plan. This girl has got through a lot, and she deserved to live. She ending up like this. I'm not gonna accept this. I'm not gonna accept her turning into just dust. As Principal Nezu said, well then, Mr. Sukuna? As Sukuna said, what is it, Nezu? As Nezu said, let's come with me, All Might, Eraserhead. Tanjiro, you can go back to your, other couple of students, and your sister is quite worried about you. We will gonna prepare our plans, to know where is Izuku right now. As Tanjiro said, thank you, Mr. Nezu. I'm gonna leave. As Tanjiro leaves, Principal Nezu starts talking with other people about the plan and everything and information that collected from Izuku, knowing that he got a new quirk, which is, the overhaul, and All Might will gonna go and meet with All for One for some reasons. As right now, Izuku wake up in the morning, we cut into Izuku as he waking up in the morning, getting out of his room saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Venom. As Venom said, good morning, Izuku. What are we gonna eat? Is it meat? Is it chickens? As Izuku said, we only starting in the morning. Normally I would eat something like eggs. As Venom said, eggs are disgusting, Izuku. We don't love eggs. As Izuku said, well, I need some protein and, a good food. I can't just live on meat. As Venom said, we can live on only meat, Izuku. You know that. As Izuku said, yeah, but I want to taste something more than just chickens and meats. As Izuku goes, he see only, on the breakfast table, he see Mr. Compress and, another one, Alfred. As Izuku said, oh, good morning, Mr. Compress. As Mr. Compress said, well, hello, boss. As Izuku said, call me Midoriya or Izuku. We are not working right now. as Mr. Compress said, well, Midoriya, good morning. It's nice to finally see you waking up. As Alfred putting, Izuku breakfast in front of his face, as Izuku said, where is everybody? Where is Toga, Dabi, and everyone, and especially Eri? As Mr. Compress said, well, all of them right now in, Toga room. Do you want to see them? As Izuku said, well, I wonder what are they doing? As Izuku and Mr. Compress go into, Toga room. As after that, Izuku opened the door. He see in front of him Magnet and, Spinner and Mustard, all of them, their hair being braided. As, he see on the ground Darby sitting on the ground as Eri just braiding his hair, and Toga, sitting by Eri's side as, Izuku having a weird look on his face. And after that, Darby knowing that, seeing Izuku that he was there, as everyone is silent, Izuku said, what are you all right now doing in the morning? As Toga come into Izuku and said, oh, Izu, good morning! As she hugging him, and after that, Izuku, can you tell me what are you doing right now? As Togi said, well, as she, getting hold of Eri and lifting her up, as she said, I taught Eri how to braid. You should let her do your hair, As Eri get Toga put Eri down, as Eri go to hide behind Toga, like, because she's still scared of Izuku. As Izuku getting on one knees, as Izuku said, hi Eri, good morning, smiling at Eri. As in the last couple of days, Toga were taking care of Eri, telling her about how Izuku is a nice person and how he saved her life and everything, making her, like Izuku more, but she's still quite scared of Izuku, knowing that he have overhaul quirk, and he were working with overhaul before. She's scared. As Eri said, good morning, Izuku. As Izuku said, well, were you braiding all my team hair? As Eri said, yes. Are you mad? As Izuku said, not at all. Well, can you braid my hair? As Eri said, what? As Izuku said, yeah, I would like to braid it because it's boring. It's looking so boring. I need to try new things. Smiling at, Eri. As Eri getting a little bit in front of, Toga, as she said, well, I can't do that, but as Izuku said, well, before you braid my hair, how about we go and eat the breakfast together? As he holding his, right arm in front of him to, Eri to go and take his arm, or, hand, as Eri getting a little bit closer, but after that, she remember what Izuku quirk is, as she immediately go back into to hide behind, Toga, like, as Izuku said, well, you don't have to touch me if you doesn't want. Let's just go and eat our breakfast. And I have a gift for you. As Toga said, come on, Eri. As everyone, leave the room and go to eat the breakfast. As after, that, Izuku said, well, Eri, I got you a little gift. As Eri said, what is it? As Alfred getting a little box into Izuku, as Izuku throwing it into, not throwing it, sliding it on the table in front of Eri, as Izuku said, open it. As Eri opened it, she see a little teddy bear, looking like, seeing inside the box a half white and a half black teddy bear, looking like this. As Eri said, wow, what is this? As Izuku said, this is a teddy bear. It's a gift for you. Do you want it? It's a teddy bear and it's for you. His name is Monokuma. As Eri said, Monokuma? What is this? What can he do? As Izuku said, squeeze it. Try to squeeze it. As Eri tried to do that, and after that, Monokuma said, let's give it everything we've got. As Eri quite laughed a little bit. As Izuku, stand up from his seat and go to, Eri after she said to him, thank you, Izuku. As Izuku go to Eri and said, well, are you gonna braid my hair or what? as he's standing in front of Eri, getting on one knees while she's still sitting on the chair of the table. As she immediately get off the chair and get a little bit away, as holding Monokuma, as Izuku sighs and said, but his eyes whiting and he got an idea, as he said, Eri, both of us are not very different, as Eri said, how we are not different, as Izuku said, I gone just like through the same things that you gone through, but not as worse as you gone through. As Eri said, what? As Izuku said, I been tortured when I was a kid, just like you. See? As he lifting up his, shirt, revealing a couple of scars and things like that, explosion that has been made of Bakugo and other people, and some injuries from heroes. As Eri looking at this, as Izuku said, I got it because people didn't like me. They were thinking that I am weak. They were thinking that I am different, and they didn't like me for that. But I finally managed to, leave them and finally find myself. And when I saw you, Eri, I was regretting every moment that I wasn't there to save you. That 1 week when I was seeing you being tortured by Overhaul, I was eating myself from the inside, telling myself to save you, but I was waiting for the perfect moment to make sure that you will not gonna, get back into his hand ever again. And that's why I saved you, because I saw you going through things that I got through, which make me understand how you feel. As Eri, looking down, as she said, is that true? As Izuku said, yeah, that's true. And, we are not only similar by the things that happened to us, but also, as Izuku, put his hand on his left side of his forehead and swap away, swap away a little bit out of his hair, revealing that he have a little horn on his, left side of his head, as he using a little bit of his, Eri quirk to make the horn getting a little bit bigger. As Eri said, oh, you have the same quirk as me? As Izuku said, yep. Do you want to touch my horn? As Eri said, can I do that? As Izuku said, yep, come on, do it. As Eri go to touch Izuku horn, as she touches, she said, it's so strong and so, so sharp. As Izuku said, well, I can teach you how to use your own quirk if you want. As Eri said, really? But my quirk is a curse. As Izuku said, your quirk is not a curse, Eri. Who is the stupid person that you told you about that thing? As Eri said, it was Overhaul. As Izuku said, forget about him. He will never gonna hurt you again. I got rid of him for you, to protect you, to make sure that you will never gonna get hurt. So, you should not get scared of him. I will gonna train you to use your quirks, so you will never gonna hurt anyone again. Is that what you want? As Eri said, can you really teach me that? As Izuku said, yep, I can teach you that. But, first of all, can you already braid my hair? As, he holding his right arm in front of Eri and said, come on, I'm gonna sit on the ground and you can sit on the couch and start braiding my hair, alright? As Eri getting close, and after that she touched Izuku's arm, hand, as she said, alright, big brother. As Izuku hearing this, a Venom in his head said, well, congratulations! You have a new little sister! As Izuku said, don't ruin the moment for me. As, Izuku quite trying to hold his tears. As he said, well, let's go. And after that, Eri start braiding Izuku hair, as, the League of Villains having fun on that day. Everyone just laughing, having fun. Izuku playing with Eri and Monokuma, as he said, well, everyone, you know what? How about we all go into the beach? Having a 1 day off. As, Toga said, the beach? Can we really go there? Izu? As Izuku said, yep. I think we all done a lots of work, so we deserve some rest. Dobby, everyone, are you gonna come with me? As Dobby said, sure, I don't have anything better to do. As Mr. Compress said, well, it will be nice from some sun to hit my face. As the, Twice said, of course I'm gonna come with you. I don't like going out in the sun. As Izuku said, great, then if everyone is gonna go with me, well, let's go. As Izuku opened a portal, this being the portal of, or you know what, to be honest, in the last part when he killed Kariguri, which is spoilers if you didn't watch the last part, to be honest, Kariguri is just a mess, so Izuku won't be even able to get some of his DNA, so let's just say they, all get out of the hideout and start walking. Izuku, helping them to get into a beach that no one know about them, a beach that everyone doesn't go to. No one go into that beach that Izuku and everyone going to. As Izuku said, well, everyone, we are here. Have fun. As Izuku said, Eri, I got you something. As Eri said, what is it, big brother? As Izuku giving her a little, swimsuit. As he said, do you ever played in the water? As Eri said, no. The only time that I was touching water is when he was, sending me to wash myself or drink water. As Izuku said, well, come on and have fun with us. As Izuku helping Eri change her clothes. And after he helped her change her clothes, all the League of Villains start, having fun on the beach, playing basketball. Dobby's just, getting some, having fun playing basketball, that ball, the ball when the people play it on the beach. I don't really know what's name is called. It's volleyball, right? Yeah, volleyball. As he and Twice are going against, Mustard and the other one, which his name was, Magnet. As in the end they start using their quirks, fighting against each other, while Toga are just, building a little, sand castle. Mr. Compress is just sitting down, drinking some tea, as Izuku carrying Eri on his back and start, running on the beach, looking like this on the photo, and his hair and eyes turn green because when he being close to Eri, he gets a little bit out of humanity back, and it's also one of Eri quirk affecting Izuku, being Eri rewinding him into the point that he had green hair and green eyes. As Izuku just running with Eri on the beach, saying, "Well, make sure to not fall." As Eri said, "Oh, I will try." As he running with full speed, making Eri head fall out of her head. As Eri having fun, saying, "Slow a little bit, I'm gonna fall." As Izuku said, "Don't worry, even if you fall, I'm gonna catch you back." As they all just having fun. In the end, Izuku go into Toga, saying, "Hey Toga." As Toga said, "Oh, Izu, do you want to help me build the sand castle?" As Eri said, "What is a sand castle?" As Izuku said, "It's it's a castle made out of sand. Come on, try to do it with us." As Izuku, Toga, and Eri just making a sand castle. As Izuku helping Eri, teaching her the techniques and things like that. In the end, they build a quite big one. As Izuku lifting up, Eri, putting Eri on his shoulder to make her put the last part of the castle on the top. The flag, yes, they put the flag on the top. As Eri said, "Done." As Izuku said, "Great job, Eri." As Eri said, I built the biggest sand castle that ever could be existed." As Izuku said, "You sure did." Well, Dobby, what he was called, Mustard. As they said, "Yes, Midoriya." As Izuku said, "Are you gonna go for a volleyball, match?" As Dobby said, "You're on it." As Mustard said, well, let's do it. As Toga said, oh, I'm gonna be with you, Izu. As Izuku said, well, alright, Toga. And after that, Izuku put Eri on the sideline saying, well, Eri, are you gonna, cheer for me? As Eri said, of course I'm gonna cheer for you, big brother. As after that, he, um, yeah, put his hand on her head and said, I know that you will. And after that, he go into the arena, or the playground. I don't know what it's called. To start the match. As Dabi said, not because you are my boss that mean I'm gonna go easy on you. As Izuku said, yeah, and it's not because that you are my little minion that mean I'm gonna go easy on you. As Dabi said, I'm not your minion. As Izuku said, well, you are part of my League of Villains, so you are my minion. As Dabi said, stop it. As Izuku said, defeat me and I will stop it. Well, how about that? The loser in this match will gonna have to do one thing that the winner will gonna say. How about that, Dabi? As Dabi and Mustard agreed to that. As Izuku said, now it's really a real fight. As Twice said, the match begins. No, it's not. As immediately Izuku throwing the ball into the sky. As Toga hitting her with her hand. Dabi immediately go into the ball, and before the ball touched the ground, he hit her into the sky. Mustard going jump on Dabi back and go to hit the ball into Izuku. Izuku immediately was able to throw the ball again into the sky, and after that he jumped after the ball very high in the sky, and then he gave her a throw the ball again at Dabi. Dabi, using his chromation, throwing fire at the ball, not too much to make her stop in its way. And after that he throw it into the sky, and using chromation under his legs start flying as he throwing the ball with the chromation around of it into Izuku dodging this as the ball touched the ground. Mr. Twice said, 1 point into Dabi, 1 point into Dabi and Mustard team. No, it's actually for Izuku and Toga. As Izuku said, hey, we didn't agree on using quirks. As Dabi said, what, are you scared of losing? As Izuku said, well, if you want to play dirty, then we will play dirty. As after that, Dabi getting hold of the ball as he throw it into the sky and using chromation, throw it at Izuku. Izuku immediately fly at the ball and using explosion throwing it into the sky as he got hold of a Toga hand and throw her into the sky as he said, come on Toga, you can do it. As Toga said, whoa, well, I'm gonna do it. As she immediately throw a hit at the ball, throwing it on into Mustard, as Mustard immediately using his gas, throwing a little bit of gas into the ball to make like air pressure at the ball to stop it in its midway. As Izuku immediately jump at the ball and throw explosion, sending her onto the ground. As after that the ground hit the ground, the ball hit the ground of Dabi and Mustard, which giving Izuku and Toga a point. As Toga starts falling from the sky, Izuku catches her before she fall as he said, are you okay, Toga? As Toga said, thank you for saving me, Izu, as she kissing him on his cheek. Dabi said, hey, stop with this, we have a fight to continue it. And I'm not gonna lose to you, little lovebirds. As Izuku said, well, let's see what you can do, Scarface. As the fight continue, it's Mustard trying even to use his toxic gas, throwing it at Izuku to make him go to sleep, but Izuku just holding his breath. Dabi and Toga are Dabi throwing chromation, Izuku explosions, and sometime using a pillar out of the ground, or maybe even moving the sand of the place that are right now in, moving the whole place out of the way to make the ball not touch the area that Izuku and Toga in. As in the end, Izuku and Toga managed to win, as Toga said, well, we win, as Eri said, Good work, big brother." As Izuku said, "I told you I will win. I will not gonna lose into some weird gas tank little boy and a scar face." As Dabi and, Dabi said, "Hey, stop with the insult." As Izuku said, "Well, since you are lost, I'm gonna ask from you one thing." As, Dabi and Mustard said, whatever. Whatever, just tell us, what is it?" As Izuku said, "Well, for you, Mustard, I want you to train to, train on knives." As Mustard said, "Oh, you can do that to me, Izuku. You know how much I hate knives. Because guns are better weapons." As Izuku said, "Sorry, but you will have to use knives for the next week." As, Mustard said, "Fine, fine." As Dabi said, "And what's my, punishment, Izuku, Midoriya?" As Izuku said, "Well, for you..." Oh, I'm sorry about this, Dabi, but your little punishment will gonna wait until we finally get into, the hideout." As Dabi said, I don't know what are you gonna do, but please doesn't make it so brutal." As Izuku said, "Don't worry, I'll make sure that you won't gonna hate anything that I'm gonna do." And after that, the League of Villains and Izuku and Eri just having fun. In the end, after the sun started, to go down, Izuku said, "Well, everyone, we need to leave." As Toga said, "Come on, Izu, we still have a lot to do." As Izuku said, "I'm sorry, Toga, but Eri has getting sleepy." As Eri said, "I'm not getting sleepy." As Izuku said, "You are sleeping, Eri, so let's leave." And after that, Izuku taken the League of Villains back into the hideout. As Dabi was about to go into his room, as Izuku said, "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put for you a little surprise inside that place. Understand?" As Dabi said, "What are you gonna do?" As Izuku said, "Well, I'm gonna put some things. And you have one rule right now. You will not gonna destroy anything that I will gonna put inside your room. Understand?" As Dabi said, "Fine, whatever." As Dabi go to sit on the couch, as Izuku said, "Oh, this will gonna be so great." As he got into, Dabi room. And after that, a couple of minutes, he get out. As Eri has already gotten into the sleep. She, Izuku made her give her her own room. As, the League of Villains are just watching, the television or eating some food. Dabi was playing video games against Magnet on, on their devices. As Izuku said, "I'm done." As Dabi said, "Did you finally done?" As Izuku said, "Yep, you can see your new room. I'm sure you will gonna like it." As Dabi said, "What have you done?" As Izuku said, "Go there and watch it." As, he put a little blindfold on, him. Dabi eyes, as he put him in the room, and after that, he take the blindfold out of his eyes and told him to not open his eyes. As he closed the door and said, "Well, you can open your eyes." As after that, once Dabi opened his eyes, he see his room filled with Endeavor stuff, posters on the ground, some, some plates of Endeavor, pencils, and, toys and figures, and even his bed has been changed into Endeavor photo. As he said, "No, you monster! Why have you done this? Why? From all the things that you could have done, why is this?" As, Mr. Compress said, "What have you done, Midoriya?" As Izuku said, "Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Dabi will gonna like what is going there." Toga said, "Well, he sure is not liking it." "What did you do to him, Izu?" As Izuku said, "Well, you can say that I changed a couple of things inside his room." As they start seeing from under the door a black, a lots of chromation being thrown all around. As Mr. Compress said, "Well, he must be so angry." As Izuku said, "Well, I wasn't expecting him to, to get into the role of, not destroying anything, but, well." 3, 2, 1, as the door bust open, the door fly out of its place, revealing Dabi with lots of smokes on his body. As he said, If you ever did that again, I'm gonna burn you. As Izuku said, I wish that you liked my new decoration to your room. As Dabi said, you're a fucking freak. As Izuku said, I already know. And after that, he sat down and explained to the League of Villains what happened, as Toga started laughing and everyone started laughing, as they just enjoying their day. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, we have nothing more to say then. We were here!